guys, Eva here. I am continuing on with my November wrap-up 2018, speaking about the graphic novels that I have read for this month. I will repeat the statistics. I will just insert my previous statistics here. Those includes both books and graphic novels, so they're not only for the graphic novels. I'll see you in a second. As genre goes, I've read 5 fantasy, 2 sci-fi, one of which could be considered also fantasy sci-fi, 2 middle grade books, 1 historical fiction / fantasy, 1 literary fiction, 1 contemporary YA, 1 urban fantasy, and 5 horrors. And as far as the rating goes, 1 book was in the range of 2 stars, 5 books were in the range of 3 stars, which range means that they can go from 3 stars to 3.75 stars. That's still considered for the statistic in the 3 range stars. 10 books were in the range of 4 stars, so between 4 and 4.75 stars, and 3 books were 5 stars, books / graphic novels. So without delay, I will get into the graphic novels that I've read in November. I have read all the Lock and Key series, apart from volume 1 that I've read in October. All the rest of the series I've read in November. These, I have the collector's editions, so I'll show you just one. I'll show you some of the art. She's not too bloody, hopefully. And these books, I have the master edition, so each volume contains 2. And this is a horror series about this family that moves in this old house after tragedy struck. And in this house, they discover these various keys. Each of these keys has some magical powers. I loved this series. It is graphic, it is horror, it is violent, so be aware of that. It is only 6 volumes. I suggest the master editions, it's very beautiful, and the pages are like lucid pages. I think they are more papery in the normal volumes, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, read that whenever, even if it's on toilet paper, just go and read this series because it's awesome. I think the mystery is so well crafted and it gets to a conclusion that's really satisfying. Overall, I will give this series 5 stars. All the volumes I've read from volume 2 to volume 6. Each volume I gave volume 2 4.5, volume 3 I gave 5 stars, volume 4 I gave 4.75 stars, volume 5 I gave 5 stars, and volume 6 4.75 stars. The only reason why I gave the last volume 4.75 stars, that in the conclusion something was not really clear. I think if I didn't do it, it would have been like more impactful, even if I'm happy because it was attached to the characters, but I thought it was a little bit like done to please the reader more than to actually be realistic with the overall series. But perfect series. Strongly suggest this. I knew I was gonna love this, and I did. Then I read The Twilight Zone, Walking Distance, and these are retelling in graphic novel formats of The Twilight Zone, the TV show, which I never watched, so every graphic novel that I pick up from the library is a surprise. And this was about this man that his car stops while he's on his way to a conference or something, and he decides to walk back to the nearest town, which happens to be the town he's grown up in. And when he gets there, he finds out that things are a little bit weird. I won't say anything else. I liked the concept about this, and although the end was meh, the art was good. I read it really quickly and I gave it 3.5 stars. Then I read Eros and Psyche, found in the library, and this is a graphic novel retelling of the story of Eros and Psyche from Greek mythology. I really enjoyed this. I love Greek mythology. I think it's so interesting. The art was good and it was told in detail, so it took its time. It wasn't too long, but it gave us a good idea of what happened without skipping any details, and I really enjoyed it. And I think it's really fun format to learn about Greek myths and so on. Then I had a DNF, which usually I don't mention DNF in my videos, but I never DNF graphic novels or mangas, but this is a manga that I have DNF'd, and this is about this girl that moves into this block of flats that comes with a perk. Basically, if you rent a flat in that building, a bodyguard will automatically come with it. She goes into this flat and this guy comes up to her saying, I'm your bodyguard. And she's like, yeah, well, I don't really need a bodyguard. That's not the reason I moved here. You'll find out later why she moved here, even if she didn't need the bodyguard. And he's like, you're so beautiful. I live to serve you. I am nothing without you. Like, I live to do everything you want me to do. That's the only reason I exist, basically. And when she says, again, yeah, no, I don't really need your services, he takes out from nowhere a katana and says to her, then if you don't need my services, just kill me with this katana, cut off my head, because I have no reasons to live. And they was like, cut his head off. I hated the guy. It was like, how can you be so submissive? Like, no, I couldn't do it. And it was all about him being submissive to her and just complimenting her, and her saying, no, I don't want you around, I don't need your services, but then dragging him along or whatever. No, I sold my copy. Then I read from Amazon Prime The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, issue 1, which I have, it's the urban fantasy horror series. I have read these after watching the TV show Netflix, which I loved. And yeah, I wanted to see where that come from, basically. I really enjoyed this. It's a little bit different than the TV show, which I appreciated. The art is not my cup of tea, and this was just one issue, but I really liked the dynamics and the characters. It's just horrorish and eerie, and the end of the issue was whoa. So yeah, 4 stars. Actually, I am mistaken, because I've actually read Bone Volume 1 and 2. So my statistics are actually wrong. I've read actually 11 graphic novels. This is the second volume. The first one I have already returned to the library. Show some of the art. And this is Bone, really old comic book series about these bone guys. There are 3 of them that gets pushed out of their town, and they lose each other in a forest. They end up going different adventures. I think I gave the first volume 3 stars or 3.25 stars, and I gave these 3.75 stars. It was more funny. The art is really good. It is middle grade. So yeah, not my cup of tea when it comes down to graphic novels. It's not childish, but yeah, it's not really very interesting. It is okay, but I will pick up the volumes if I find them. It's fun time, and I love the art. And finally, for this month, I have read Saga Volume 9 by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan. This is a sci-fi fantasy series. We are on Volume 9. I'm sure you know what this is about. This is kind of like Romeo and Juliet retold in space with fantasy element. Basically, at the beginning of this series, this guy from Earth and this woman from the moon, or vice versa, they fell in love, but that's prohibited because the Earth and its moon are at war. It's really harsh war that has gone on for many years, and so they end up falling in love and actually conceiving a child. And the first volume starts with her giving birth, and they are fleeing from everybody because everybody and their mother wants them dead. I'll show you some of the art, which is awesome. I love the art, and I know that the authors of this graphic novel series have told fans that they're gonna go on a break for a year, so we won't get another volume for at least a year, which is disappointing. I have to say that hearing other reviews from other people, I guessed what was gonna happen, so I was like, I knew that was gonna happen from the beginning, so it wasn't shocking. And I actually didn't love this volume as much as other volumes in the series. Like the volume 8, I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. This one got 4 stars. It's still Saga. It's still one of my favorite. I love the art. I will follow this forever. Yet this is not the best volume in the series, in my opinion. And I saw it coming. And yeah, so I was already ready, you know, from the beginning. I knew, but I knew. So yeah, and that's it. It's getting dark. Soon you won't be able to see me anymore. So I'm going. Thank you for watching. Check out the books wrap-ups if you haven't already. If you're new, I would love for you to subscribe, so hit the button down below. Enjoy your night, day, depending where you are, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!